It's just hi everyone. Wait, no, not yet. Now we're on. Hello everyone. Welcome to Conscious Living. I'm here live, Ashley Lee. I'm here with Annie Peterson Kolatkar. Welcome, Annie.
Hi, Ashley. Good to be back. Thank you. Hi,
Oh,
everyone.
so good to be here with everyone. Today, because it's December 2017, today we're going to talk about managing holiday stress with advanced energy healing. And we've got some amazing ideas for everyone today to work with their energy, with other people's energy, and how we all interact with each other during the holidays. Don't we, Annie?
Oh, yes. In fact, we are going to highlight for you your three superpowers, your three super empowerment tools that you can use to restructure how the energy happens around you so that you can make the memories around your holiday season that you want to remember. This is one of the things that we learned that people can easily do, and you've got time to practice. Although I know the holidays started back in Thanksgiving, and you may already have had a holiday clash or two. But that's not to say you can't practice and get this under your belt before, I don't know, grandma comes
That's
to
right.
town and we don't want to have a repeat of last year. So we're gonna show you three ways that you can manage your holiday stress that no one else has probably pointed out to you.
We sure do. It's just amazing. And so one of the things that we wanted to start with helping everyone understand is what is your intention for your holiday? And we wanted to break this up just a little bit in everybody's perception and understanding about what your intention is what is your intention, those who are listening to the podcast? What is your family's? So what does everybody want collectively? What is your extended family, those who might visit you or you might visit them? And then also individually with your family, your spouse, your partner, friends in the house, and then your children. What are their individual and collective ideas work for their intentions for the holidays?
We want to create win-win-win situations so that you win, your immediate family wins, and your extended family, which includes friends, that they all win. Because we know that, you can have a dinner party, have some tension at it, and we want to make sure everybody wins here.
Yes, absolutely. And so sometimes when we set up a win win intention for everyone, that's sometimes when I find in my energy healing practice that it doesn't always come instantaneously. I feel like it's almost like the universe is helping us everybody intersect correctly to that win-win spot. So one person might be over here trying to win in this way, this person might be trying to win in this way, and I'm over here trying to win in this way. And a lot of times when we have that intention overall that we want everybody to win, then sometimes it's like matchmaking. So the universe is helping us match up our win-win ideas. So that's why sometimes it doesn't happen instantaneously. But we're going to share with you a couple ideas and a couple ways in which you can implement this so that win win can happen sooner than later. So you don't have to wait till next year.
Yeah. And look, one of the things that we are really big on is simple but effective communication. So we know that many of you are going to be driving for sometimes 8 hours in the car together, or sitting at the airport together, or around your dining room table at least one night before there's a big family get together. So this is that moment where all of you get to acknowledge that family conflicts are real, right? And that collectively you're going to figure out in that moment how to work with it. Right, Ashley?
Absolutely. And so what we
So
wanted to do was give the idea about how can we set these intentions on these multiple levels? What ways are the best ways to do that? So, like you said, Annie, one is in the car ride. The airport might be a little bit difficult, right? But at family dinner time, or maybe other times that you've already created with your family to be able to have a sit down moment and a conversation and a melding of the minds, if you could call it, or melding of the heart, is talking about ways in which I don't know that many family members have a conversation. I think we're having the American broadcasting system go off on the phone.
on my phone, my end.
I think it was on my end. Sorry about that, everyone. We're having a few forest fires or fires in San Diego and LA County. Alrighty, so there's another way to handle holiday stresses, other natural disasters that might be happening around us as well. But what we're talking about here is gathering everybody to gather in a collective, unified, and individuated intention of what it is we'd like to create. So let's illustrate that a little bit, Annie. Let's say just around how do you do it? You have two younger kids in your house. How do you collect them and get them together and talk at the same time to support family goals or opportunities?
Great question. I actually, because my family dynamics are a little different, I have a child with special needs, and that one has language delays. So I don't typically work in a group setting with her because she can't process what we're doing. But when the little guy and my husband and I are together, we have the ability to say, hey, what would we like? Would we like to have a simple Christmas? Would we like to have friends over? And then how would we like it to be? And for me, December's my busiest month with guests and parties and so forth. So I really want, for my own agenda, I want more peace. So my intention is always, I just want it to be peaceful and I want it to be calm, but I also want everybody to have fun. And I know my husband would probably agree with that, but like my son, he's very young and he wants Santa to bring him a good gift. He's got an agenda that he wants his holiday to be happy and fun. So I want to allow him to be able to express that. And that is his intention most days, by the way.
Yes.
So with my daughter, I simply ask her yes, no questions. And I would say something like, would you like this holiday to be fun? And she'll say yes. Or I'd say, would you like it to be happy? And I'm literally just planting seeds for her that we're thinking about this, right?
Right.
And it's really conversations that need to be had, because without it, we're going down a road without paying attention to the journey.
Right.
And when we set the intention, we already know what we're programming our brains and our hearts to be looking for, which is why intention setting is incredibly powerful. And I think that, we'll talk about some of the ground rules on setting intentions, but I think this is a good place to bring up the whole idea. I have this analogy, and it's the gumball machine of life, right? So we all have a quarter in our hand. We're all lined up to go to that big gumball machine. And, we all have an expectation about what is going to come down that little metal slide. And behind the flap is going to be a gumball. So we put our quarters in, and our intention is that we're going to be able to have that machine accept our money, turn the knob, and that the machine is going to grind its gears and open up a chute, and out is going to pop a gumball.
Right.
But the difference with my husband and myself and my daughter and my son is that there might be hidden hopes and wishes and dreams attached to that intention to get a gumball out of the machine. So I like the gumball because it could be a holiday party. It could be a moment where you go volunteer at a soup kitchen. It could be a New Year's Eve party, a Hanukkah party. It could be, oh gosh, all the family has winter break. And so we don't know what everyone's intentions are. And so we don't know what's going to come out of that big gumball machine of life. So, how do we deal with those hopes, Ashley?
How do we heal with those hopes? We get we get to express them. We get to share them. We get an opportunity to have honoring of them, whether they're realistic or not. I know your son was really cute. He had a photo of himself and he said, I know I'm on the nice list this year.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, that's a hope. He's hoping to show that he's been very good, and he actually has been very good. But it was funny because he made his own self proclamation that he was good, which was really fantastic.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to talk about. And I think hope does get entangled with the idea a little bit about what it is when we set an intention. Because a lot of times I wanted to talk about this subject, and both Annie and I worked on this quite a bit before talking about on this podcast about what does that mean to let go of attachments to outcomes. And many times we're creating an intention because we have an outcome desire, and we want something to happen. Well, when we want something to happen, and then now everyone says, okay, make an intention, now let go of what you just intended, it wasn't really meant to be that way. It's meant that you hold. So, for example, you have an intention. I'd like something to be here, or I'd like to receive this present, or I'd like someone in my family to be really nice to me this year, something like that, right? So those are intentions, and we hold that. But the reason why we want to let go of that attachment to that outcome is many people believe that if we have that attachment to the outcome, it's good because we're holding it in place. We're holding a vision for that to happen. Yes, we are. But we're also demanding or expecting that it's going to come through in order for me to feel successful that my intention worked. But what if your intention works anyway, whether or not that proof came? And really, even the deeper part that we wanted to convey to everyone today is, I want you to picture it like this. So we set an intention. I'd like to have this gift. So I don't know. What did I want? I think I was going to ask for some emerald earrings. For some reason, it was just time to bring that in. Haven't asked for jewelry in years and years and years, but I thought I'd ask that. So what I want to do is I want to put it out there to the universe that I'd like to receive that for Christmas or a gift or something like that. And what I realized was that when I let go of the attachment to that outcome, I let go that I'm going to receive it. I let go of, is it going to be in gold or white gold or something else? How is it going to look? Is it going to be a stud, or is it, all of those kinds of determinations that we put around that outcome that we desire. And a lot of times, if we move that away, if we move away those attachments, I've got to have it this way, I have to have it on this day and this time and this kind of way, and this person has to give it to me. When I do that, I limit my opportunity for my own intention for the universe to provide. I call it God, but other people call it other things. But what I do is I put it out there, and God might be my husband. I'm just kidding. But what I'm trying to say is that when we ask for something a certain way and we have certain expectations around that outcome or desire, we limit ourselves in what we could actually receive. And from what I'm learning and determining in energy healing is that when we open the opportunity to receive in an abundant way, a lot of times it comes in many different packages and ways and ideas that we never thought were possible before. And so that's what we deeply mean by letting go of the attachment to the outcome, so that that outcome can come sooner, bigger, better, more amazing. I don't know, maybe I'll get 10 pairs. I'm just kidding. I don't need 10 pairs. But what I'm saying is that, well, maybe I'll get a ring too, or a necklace, or I don't know, something like that. But when I leave that open, then when I don't get it, I'm okay. When I do get it, wow, it came in such a way, it came dressed and it came delivered to me in such a way that I would have never thought of. So the opportunity is even so much bigger that way than having that expectation. So that's what we mean by dropping. So that's our first, right, Annie? That's our first
That is
advanced.
absolutely your first advanced energy move is drop the attachment to outcome.
Yeah.
And just to revisit the gumball machine real quickly here, because I think it's so simple. We all expect the machine to work, right? So we don't even think about that as, oh, I don't know if this machine's going to work. We don't go there. There is no attachment to that. We just expect it. And then we all know that we're there for the experience of chewing the gum and breaking that shiny, sugary crust. And, maybe we already know the experience is going to last for like 12, 15 minutes, right?
Maybe.
You're right. But the biggest part of that whole experience is dropping the outcome around the flavor, right? Or the color you get. Because
Absolutely.
you're gambling at that point, right?
Yeah.
So if you have your hopes and your agenda set on, God, I hope it's great. I hope it's great. And then out comes the white mint ball, and I just wasted 25 cents. Blah blah. You're right. When we let go of that attachment, we go up to the higher view. We say, you know what? I'm really standing in front of the gumball machine because I really just want to be chewing something sweet right now. And then we just let whatever comes to us come into us.
Correct.
And then we have a much nicer experience. So let's translate that very, very quickly. Your bickering parents are going to be coming to your house, and they're probably going to, criticize your cooking efforts or your choice of dessert or your choice of wine. And it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter because you're setting an intention that says, this holiday, I'm choosing to feel peace no matter what happens around me.
Right.
And that intention then supports you when your parents start to criticize you, because then you're like, well, I'm not expecting you to contribute to my peace. I'm expecting me to just have my holiday and be in my peace, and you can kind of do what you want, right? At that level, it's like, yeah, I just want family to be together. So I have a memory of family being together, and the peace is coming from inside of you.
Right.
So at that point, it really doesn't matter what the gumball machine of life delivers to you. You still have your peace because you set the intention, and that is what centers you. So that is your first super empowerment
It sure
tool.
is.
So I think that intention and the word theme are interchangeable. So if you want to tell your family, let's pick a theme this year for our holiday, and maybe you just say, to your family, look, what is the essence that you want to remember of these moments that we're having as an experience? Okay, so the next big empowerment tool.
I'm excited.
I know. So it's kind of two-part, right? Is you get to choose your feelings, right? We already kind of alluded to that. But when we talk about choosing your feelings, we're really talking about how are you going to feel before that gumball lands in your hand and you get to go into judgment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can judge your experience of, oh, crap, I got a white gumball, damn it, blah, 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 right? Or you can go, hey, I got a gumball, the machine worked, this is awesome, right? You feel the joy and you move on so the next person can get their gumball. What we're saying here is that this is your second advanced energy empowerment tool. So drum roll, please. You have the ability to clear the conflicts before your guests even get to your house.
That's for sure. We don't have to wait for them to arrive.
Yeah. So this is clearing your expectations, right? So if you know your parents are going to be bickering, because that's what they do, and they might be highly critical of you and the person you picked to have as your loved one, and how you're raising your kids and how you're cooking your turkey. You can clear all of that before anybody gets into your space.
Yes, you
Okay?
can.
So, the way you actually go about doing this is by recognizing that they have what we call projections on you. Those are judgments and beliefs that they have cast on you, and it's like they put on, rose-colored glasses, and through those glasses all they can see are bad things, negative things. And because they happen to be focusing their eyes on you, the only thing they can see is what's on those glasses, those filters, and those are their criticisms. And they're really about the other person. They're never about you. They are never about you. What they see in you is what is inside of them. Okay? So knowing that, and knowing that because all of their energetic judgments and beliefs are, shot over to you and kind of have their hooks in you, and it's part of your experience because it's in your awareness, you can release those. It is fully within your ability and your power to consciously release those back to them where it belongs.
Right.
You don't need that in your space.
Right.
So, what we're saying is that before your parents or whoever is invited gets to your home, or before you get to the other person's home, you actually can say, I consciously release all the projections, judgments, and beliefs that those people have on me.
Right. Or our
And
family,
yeah.
or how they feel we might behave or they might behave. Or things that come up. It's amazing when family doesn't see each other but a couple times a year or so, and they live in this perpetual tunnel of memories that may or may not make a difference at all of what's happening this year. And so us being aware that they're having those same memories, it's because they're trying to elicit that same feeling or happiness or that time being together. But as I say with my family and we say together is we say, okay, there's that old story. We keep telling it. We've told it for 25 years now. So instead, let's make up a new one. What new one today could we make up that we're going to say for the next 25 years? No, I'm just kidding. But what we do is we help even amongst ourselves when we're getting together to let go of those memories, because some of those memories were tied in ideas of how we thought about each other, which are not the same anymore.
Yeah.
And so you're right. That is the second advanced energy healing tool, is to help you clear your own judgments, your own thoughts about, oh my gosh, Aunt M is going to do it again. And I got to live through it again. And then so instead, what we can do is say, oh, look, I have a feeling inside of me that Aunt M is going to do that thing again. But what if I give her an opportunity and me an opportunity? What if we could create something different? And I know creating something different always starts with me, in my mind, my heart first. So I drop that about me. Now I see Aunt M. I don't know. She called the other day and she sounds the same. So maybe she's going to be the same. But
You
that's, yeah. Go
you
ahead.
bring up a really good, interesting point here, and it reminds me of something one of our esteemed colleagues, Mike Peterson, uses as an analogy to describe what you said, which is uh, people have stored memories, and it's all of the conflict feelings, and he calls them snow globes. And I think this is just a perfect analogy for this time of the year, right?
Yeah.
Because snow globes have like the little cabin or the little Victorian house with the family inside having dinner with a candle lit, and there's a tree lit, and then there's the snow, right? And it's a snapshot of a moment in time, and it's forever encased in this, hard shell we call glass. But when we do our change work technology, we're actually looking for those moments that you have stored in your energy field, and these are moments that you are constantly checking in on. So what we are telling you is that you have this superpower to actually clear those snow globes and reframe them and change the message that's in your energy field so that when they're with you, their snow globes and your snow globes are not triggering each other, and they're
Correct.
not going back into those old patterns. Okay. And the way this happens is by clearing those conflict energies.
Yeah.
So here is this kind of does lead us right into the next segue, which is your third super empowerment tool. Okay. Um, I call it oops, I forgot my intention and I yelled at grandma.
It happens.
It happens. Everybody can lose their cool, especially if alcohol is involved.
It can.
But, we're all human in this body, having this experience as spirit, um, trying to feel our way through the uncomfortable feelings, and give yourself some space to stop and breathe, because that's what warriors do in the minute when they find themselves in the midst of conflict. They stop, and their first thought is to breathe. Okay,
Right.
because when we bring that breath in, we are standing more in our power. Okay, and then begin the conflict resolution that we've been teaching you. This means that you breathe and you recognize in this moment that you have connected with conflict energies. Okay. Oh, I yelled at grandma. She totally irritated the heck out of me, and I totally reacted in anger at her criticisms. Okay, breathe. And then recenter yourself with love and connect with your theme. Okay, my theme was have to be happy and have fun during the holidays. My theme is happy and fun. So the moment you reconnect with those ingredients, you're remembering in that moment how you are choosing to spend the holiday. Okay, this is energy healing right there. Okay, for you. You are standing in your power. You are remembering what your choices are. And you're reclaiming your power, because in the next step, you're going to just offer comfort to your body in a
Mm-hmm.
very simple way. I'm sorry, body. I've got this. I'm aware of what I just did and what grandma's trying to do. And I am choosing to recenter myself and come from love and stand in my truth, which is that I want happy and fun, and I want to be feeling the love for myself and others. And there's a myriad of ways that you can offer comfort to your body, but simply just saying, I'm sorry, body, I've got this now. And then go on to the next step, which is consciously choose to release and let go of the conflict between you and whomever, in this case or example, grandma, right? From all angles and on all levels. Okay. And that is call it a shortcut, the cliff notes for a good chunk of the conflict resolution. Okay. The intention behind it is that I'm letting go of all my judgments and beliefs about you. I'm letting go of your projections, judgments, and beliefs on me. And I am letting go of my own self judgments and self limiting beliefs. And anything I went into with you, Grandma, and any soul contracts between us, I'm letting go of any components like you have to do the dishes. These are also conditions, right? Or I'm waiting for an apology. No, we are just releasing the conflict and letting it go on all levels and from all angles.
Yes.
And then you go back to the truth of who you are. Who are you? Your spirit. Your essence is love. And your intention is to be love and have happy and fun happen during the holidays. And in that moment, because you're standing in your power, which is love, you are going to look over at grandma and you are going to see that the divine spark is in her heart. Even if she has put concrete walls around it, you are going to see that in her and shine like a lighthouse the truth of this over to her
Right?
because that
Without
is her
even
truth.
needing to say anything.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like a wireless, we download stuff from the internet every day and we don't even think about how it happens. But it's all wireless, right?
Right?
This is the same between people. We're
Right.
beaming from our heart space this energetic message that just goes out, and just feel this right now that the truth of who you are is love. And Ashley and I will beam this to you.
Yes.
Just feel that. It's the truth of who you are. So from that moment, you can shine without ever moving your lips or saying a word.
It's
And then
completely true.
watch the energy change.
Right.
Because you can keep breathing in happy fun and shining over to grandma.
Yeah.
You are love. I am love.
And notice, take a notice without expectations, but just take a notice at how grandma's responding. Sometimes it could be bad. It depends on how emotional she is or what was driving her experience. But
Yeah.
you'll find many times, I have many clients that find many times a very surprising outcomes. They change, they walk away, they stop engaging that way. They turn around and say something you'd never expect, something nice, something healthy. It's really, truly amazing to watch what unfolds just naturally when we shift how we're thinking about them, judging them, or receiving their judgments or criticisms.
Ashley, you have a really great example of a woman whose mother used to pick on her until she decided she wasn't going to be sensitive to that anymore. Could you share how that shifted in that moment, the energy, and how that woman even noticed when the other person tried to go for a younger person that you I forget
Yeah,
how the story
I
goes,
mean,
but I think that's a great example for people right here, right now.
well, I think there was one example is one highly sensitive young person had their mom there and other grandchildren there, and the grandmother was going into the old thoughts and stuff, and uh, felt kind of nitpicky and was nitpicking on the daughter. And the daughter decided to say, I'm glad I'm not feeling sensitive anymore to this. And the mom, grandma of the one that was nitpicking, she amazingly stopped talking to that person and went right for the youngest person in the room and started nitpicking on them. And it was amazing for this daughter to witness that the mother didn't really even understood what happened. She just kind of went off of the one she normally picks on and went to another one that was more vulnerable to the picking. And so the daughter then spoke up again and said, please don't pick on that one either. Why don't we redirect and watch TV or do something else that might support you? And so she did. She stopped picking on that one and she started watching TV. And I can tell you that this daughter was amazed because she realized the mother didn't even know what she was doing. It was responding so much in her automatic feelings and her automatic behaviors that she didn't even know she was redirected. She didn't even know she was picking on them. She didn't even know she was redirected to go do something else. And so it was rather amazing for the mother to watch that and to the daughter to watch that and see that happen and unfold.
Yeah, I know. I love that story. I'm so glad you shared it with our listeners. You just made me realize we can throw out another bonus super empowerment tool, Ashley. People can release victim energy before they get to the party if they know the usual suspects there are going to go for them.
Yeah.
So if this is your situation where you have perpy predator types find you and go for your weak spot, and we all know this happens, take a moment and choose consciously to release your victim energy. and your victim attractor energy.
Yeah. That could be
Because
bringing on why you got picked on or
the first,
criticized or negated.
yeah, yeah. And some people just remember the snow globes, right? They only remember you being vulnerable as a kid and they haven't seen you in years. And all of a sudden, when they see you, they go back into the old behaviors. So even though you may have grown and matured and learned how to set boundaries and everything, you might get re triggered. So the better thing to do is actually release all your victim energies from all your timelines and clear the projections that those people will actually find you again.
Right. So you can even go back in and go back to those previous moments, maybe where the picking started to happen or the criticism or negation started happening, and go back through those memories and help reframe some of those memories. Oh, that's okay. I had a little bit of victim or I had a little bit of something in me that brought that person to pick on me when they weren't picking on other people, and it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So we can reframe that so that you stand really tall in your true nature this next time before you see them. And then just remember too that when they're nitpicking and when they're doing that kind of perpy behavior, they're really not meaning to. Most people do not wake up in the morning and say, I think I'm going to pick on my loved one today.
No.
Most of the time, they just don't maybe know how to. They may have learned behaviors that's been happening year after year, but also they may not recognize that I have some sort of conflict or problem with this person and I really don't know how to express it. So I'm going to act out or have this behavior towards this person.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, and maybe the holidays is not the best time to talk about it, but it's a time that you can start to settle the behavior down, reframe the behavior, then maybe after the holidays, give that person a call and say, hey, I really had a great time this holiday. What do you notice different? And what do you notice different in me? Because I noticed that you were talking to me differently. And what does that mean for you? And so you can open up new kinds of conversations too and start to do some deeper family healing, even through these opportunities of seeing each other over the holidays.
So true. So true.
So
In
that's
the
what
end,
we wanted to share was yes, what would you say, what would a summation to summate these three advanced energy healing techniques that people can work with to reduce their stress in the holiday?
I really was going to say that in the end, all we're doing is identifying the essence of the experience that we want to remember, right? We know we're going to create memories. And from those memories, we want to be able to say, they were good. I had fun. I was happy. I felt it was the first time I had a peaceful holiday, or I finally got my wish. I just wanted to have a peaceful holiday season, and it really was, right? And this stems from that conscious choice to consciously attract from that self empowered um, place that is within you. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's just recap for our listeners. Set the intention and let go of any attachments that you have to outcome. Okay. Choose your feelings. Others are not the source of your feelings, nor is life circumstances. Okay. You are the source of your feelings. So choose your feelings. Okay. And recognize that your biggest advanced energy tool here is that you can clear the conflict energies before you even see people. Okay. And then the third one is even if you have an oopsie and you lose your cool, that you can clear on the spot the conflict energies that you are feeling in your body as uncomfortable energies. Okay. And you can follow that in just 1 or 2 minutes. You can have recentered yourself and cleared yourself. And then the bonus that I had the light switch go on is you can release victim energy. And
Yes.
all of this is on our website. You can, any day of the year, go find it on our website under the conflict resolution page, which is under the articles. I've put together a summary of all the articles we've written on the conflict resolution therapy for the soul, and you can listen to podcasts on this. We just thought that if we put this out here as a little different strategy for you to manage your holiday stress better, it would be simplified.
Yes, absolutely. Those are three amazing points, and they really will restructure, reframe, and actually create different memories for you for the holiday season.
Yeah. And that is totally 100% advanced energy healing, folks. I mean, you
Yes,
can master this in the days before you get to your next family event. This stuff is easy. It
yes,
is so easy. And as I say, you'll be managing holiday stress in one breath on the go. Um, and you'll be loving it. You'll be so glad you took the time to learn this. And look, managing your holiday stress can be made a lot easier if you want support from Ashley and myself. We are here for you. We are happy to dive in and find out where the root cause is of your biggest stressors and help shift and heal that. And we can support people remotely through the holiday season. Simply reach out and get the support you need,
yeah,
and use our contact form on our website, which is www.brainintegrationinstitute.com. And we will help you stand in your power and stand in your truth, which is love.
yes, absolutely. Thank you, Annie, and thank you everyone for joining us.
A
Have a
pleasure.
wonderful holiday.